Hey, I'm gonna talk during the disclaimer because maybe if there's some audio there, people will actually take the time to look at it. Because I noticed that I've had a ton of people making requests in the comments again. Also, remember to support the Patreon. Get a chance to win Finitivis this month. Hey out there, this is Toy Customizer Wake Angel 2001 coming at you with a custom commission for repeat commissioner and Patreon supporter ACReinhardt. He wanted the Tornado, Tails' iconic biplane that we all know and love. Now, as usual, the base toy for the Tornado is Barney Stormin. That one with like the 12-inch wingspan. It's pretty much in perfect scale with the Jazzwares figures, and it's just the right size for a biplane at this scale, so why not? It's also really the only biplane at this scale, so haha. Now, you have to dismantle the toy, but here's an important step. You have to label the screws. This thing has a bunch of screws, and they're all different sizes, and if you get the screws mixed up, you're going to have a real bad time putting it back together again. So, just do what I did. Like, tape the screws down to a piece of card with a label where they go, and you'll be fine. Alright, so once things are dismantled, it's time to get repainting. Now, there's a problem. Barney Stormin has some white highlights that are really strong, and it took so many coats of red paint to cover that white on this landing gear that I figured I would use an entire bottle of this stuff to do the wings. That's when I realized that I can strip that white paint off by using a bit of acetone, ordinary nail polish remover, and wash the paint off the figure. The plane. It's not a figure, it's a plane. The plastic underneath is red, so it stays red, and then it's a lot easier to paint without all that obnoxiously bright white paint, which just plain gets in the way. I made the Tails decals. I just traced them out on some paper and cut them out, and then attached them with ordinary white glue. Holds well enough. Now, one final note about the acetone. Do not submerge the thing in acetone. That is some strong stuff, and it will melt the plastic over an extended period. No, you just got to put a little bit of acetone on some cotton balls, and then rub it to get the first paint layer off, and then you dry the acetone off so it won't damage the underlying plastic. I don't want anybody to complain to me that they accidentally melted a figure or toy that they tried to get paint off of. With that done, you've seen me repaint the tail fins and the propeller, so all that's left now is the internal, seat. This is where I had to get to some Dremlin, because there's a whole bunch of stuff in here to accommodate the mechanism where you push down Barney's head to make his propeller spin and the noises and stuff. I just gouge all that out. Just use the Dremel to gouge out as much as possible. Clear as much room inside the hull to make room for the figure's feet as you can. And trust me, I took out as much as I could without compromising the structural integrity, and there's barely enough room in there. So if you think you're taking out too much material, you're not. You know what? For all my talk of using acetone to strip the paint off of the tail fins and wings, I couldn't do it to the hull of the plane. Yeah, either the hull is made out of a slightly different plastic that holds paint better, or they used a much thicker layer, because I rubbed and rubbed on that stuff so much, and I was barely able to slightly streak the white paint on the hull. So I had to put down a base layer that would cover the white, and then paint the red on top of that. Because of that, the paint on the hull looks thicker and slightly darker than the wings, and it really upsets me. Although, I guess it isn't really that visible. And then, everything else is just the racing stripes. And then I use the same cut-out of paper technique that I used to put on the tail decals to put the word Sonic on the side of the hull, which you'll see in the next picture. He said right before cutting to an image of Tails riding in the Tornado that is taken at an angle that hides the word Sonic on the side. Ha ha ha. But you can see how Tails looks sitting in the plane. He can peek out just over the top wing like you normally see him do in the games. And, he's not so much sitting in there as his feet are inelegantly crammed into the hull until they wedge in place, but it still works. From most angles, he's pretty much in the cockpit the right way, and he's looking the right way over the wing, so it's fine. Plus, Tails has some somewhat large feet, so you might actually be able to get other characters in there a little bit easier than him. Of course, you can't put the boom tails in unless you cut his tails off, because the way his tails go down, they don't let it, they don't let it go in. So that was the Tornado, the most iconic vehicle in the Sonic franchise, aside from Eggman's Eggmobile, of course. And the next commission finally completed. ACReinhardt has some more stuff in this commission, but I have other things to work on too, so look forward to that. This is Wake Angel 2001, signing off. Alright, quick little addendum before the video ends. I know I said I was signing off, but I almost forgot to mention this. Alright, so the Barney Stormin, as you all know, it has a gimmick. Oh, wait. Here's the original Tornado that I made years ago. It has a permanently mounted Tails figure for the purpose of preserving this gimmick, where pushing down on the seat makes a propeller spin. And before the battery died, it also made airplane noises. Well, I just wanted to mention that although I had to gouge out the seat so there's no more spinning propeller gimmick, if you look really deep in there, you see the electronics are still intact. So, if you take something thin enough, you can reach in and push a little button inside to make it yeah, so, at the very least, I was able to preserve the sound chip gimmick, right? 1 out of 2 ain't bad. Of course, it's not like you would be able to push that button while there's a figure sitting in there, because, the legs would be in the way. But, you take what you can get, right? Alright, now I'm really signing off.